Hi, this is Jordan Belfort, and welcome to Straight Line Persuasion. I'm really excited about this product. If there's one skill in my life that's really allowed me to soar to the highest level financially, it's the ability to influence and persuade people, to be a closer, so to speak. And I've taught this skill to over 12 or 13,000 people over the years, and in just about every business you can imagine, starting with Wall Street all the way to Main Street, and just, from the internet to real estate to anything you can imagine. And if this one skill of persuasion is so impactful on people's lives, you have to ask yourself, why is it that so often we do everything that we need to do to become successful? We learn all the tools and strategies, yet we don't teach ourselves how to actually make our concepts and our visions and our thoughts known to another person. How do you actually influence somebody to want to do business with you? How do you essentially close the sale? Not just a product sale, but for information, for your vision, whether you're in a relationship with your spouse, trying to get your kids to make your bed. There's a force inside you, this force that once it's unleashed, that allows you to really make your thoughts known in a very compelling way. Now, my journey has been a rocky one along the way, because when I developed this skill in the beginning, I didn't really pin it with an ethical undertone. It was about making as much money as you can, as fast as you can. And I will tell you this, it was unstoppable. The average age of the person working for me was in their early 20s. The average IQ, wasn't up there in the stratosphere. It was just average people and sometimes below average. But what you have here is a system that allows any person, regardless of their age, race, creed, color, socioeconomic background, educational status, it allows any person to master the art of persuasion, to actually close the deal versus talking about closing the deal. And in the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So now I broke this system up here into 10 distinct modules, and each module is extremely important. So you can do this now in a couple of different ways. You can do one module a day for 10 days, which is what I really recommend. Or if you're, short of time, you can really spread it out over 10 weeks. Although my experience with that is that people tend to get a little bit less out of it because you lose the continuity of it all. I structured the modules in a specific order, a syntax, as we say, to make sure that you can let one skill build upon the next. And each skill by itself is crucial to your ability to persuade and influence. But when taken together as a system, you'll be shocked at how effective you become. Another option is you can actually do the whole 10 modules in 1 week, and you lock the door, you make sure there's no interruptions, and you actually master this. And you're going to get a workbook that comes along with each DVD. And I want you to make notes in this workbook and use it as a way to reinforce what you're learning, because there's different ways that we learn. You're actually going to learn something very powerful here in terms of how you process information, how you store information, how you retrieve the information. And my goal here, and I've done this thousands and thousands of times, is to take you and someone like you and to make you what's called unconsciously competent with your ability to persuade and influence. That means you could do it without thinking about it. And when you're doing that, when you're actually in tune with what's in here, not just up here, you're selling from your heart and influencing from your heart, not only will you be even more effective, but you're going to learn to enjoy it. Now, I know some of you are saying, enjoy persuasion? I hate persuasion. I understand that. And the reason is because you just don't know what it really means. Persuading is not about getting people to do things they don't want to do or shouldn't do. It's about allowing people to overcome the obstacles that are holding them back from taking action. Actions they should be taking. And these people who are shut down for whatever reason, whether it's their beliefs about buying, whether it's a fear that if they do take action and don't succeed, they'll look stupid, whatever it might be, your ability, once you learn this system, the straight line system, to help people overcome those obstacles and barriers is going to be so empowering to them that they're going to really just be very grateful that they did take action. So I want you to feel confident that once you master this skill, it's going to change your life on every level, and also with the way you talk to yourself. You see, we have this voice in the back of our head that very often doesn't serve us. It sometimes destroys us. It stops us from taking action. And when you learn this system here, the straight line system, you're going to find that voice in your head makes a bit of a shift. And you come from this place of lack of confidence to total confidence. You come from a place of uncertainty to a place of certainty. And most importantly, you come from a place where being disempowered is a thing of the past, and empowerment on a very high level is where you live day to day. That's my goal when I created this program. And ironically, when I first was out there teaching this straight line, mostly in the corporate world, I didn't think I'd ever really make a program out of it, but the demand was huge. I get people, where's the straight line? Can we take it home with us? So I created the product for that precise reason. So I would ask you to do this. I want you to really just take this very seriously because it is the single most powerful and important skill that can take you to a whole new level in your business. Whether you own your own business, you're an employee, it's going to be the skill that defines you, that allows you to move up the ladder as an employee or move up the corporate ladder as an owner and make massive sums of money without nearly as much effort as you thought. So I want you to enjoy the program right now. We're going to start off. The first module is basically an introduction to the straight line. And you're going to learn the basic tenets of straight line persuasion, starting with your ability to control the sale. How do you actually take somebody who doesn't really know you and establish some very core principles of being an expert, of having them see value in your product or your idea, and also the fact that whatever company you represent, if it's your own company, how to get the right perception of what your company represents. Do they trust your company? Does your company have integrity? You're going to learn in a very short period of time through things like tonality, through body language, and also through distinct language patterns, how to create those powerful elements that allow you to persuade elegantly and effectively. By the way, one of the things I want you to notice here is that you might find that sometimes the quality of the film, it's not, perfect, super high definition 4-camera video. And there's a reason for that. I purposely filmed this live because I wanted you to see me in front of an audience of people where we can have an exchange of energy. See, there's only so much I can say to you when I'm speaking into a camera like I am now. I can relate to you, some stuff from my heart and some logical stuff. But when I get in front of people and we have that exchange of energy, it really allows me to soar to a whole new level of certainty, to access information in my own mind that goes back, 20, 30 years. So that's really why I didn't just make this some dry, educational video where I told you specific steps here, step A, step B, step C. I wanted you to see it in action, what it's really like when I train people. Because I found that, when someone gets in front of me, when I get to train them in a room, even if there's 500 people in the room, the results are so much better versus them reading about it in a book. So let's get started right now. Module 1, which is Introduction to the Straight Line. I want you to watch the DVD, take your notes, and I'll see you on the other side. So I want to tell you real quickly here, my I wouldn't say reticence, but I was resistant to going out and teaching the straight line. And I'll tell you why I was resistant. Is because if it's used the wrong way, it can be really evil and manipulative. You get people to do things they shouldn't do, to buy things they shouldn't buy. It's very, very manipulative if it's used the wrong way. I could take any person, just, any human being with the straight line, and I want to just draw it for you real quick just so you know what it is. Something you're going to see a lot of in the next 2 days. And literally, I promise you this, I don't care if you're the best salesman in the world. Some of you on a scale of 1 to 10, you're probably a 10. Best salesman ever. Some of you could be a 1. You're just starting out. And there's where you are, right? It's fine. No big deal. The straight line can take any person, any human being, regardless of age, race, creed, color, socioeconomic background, educational status, it does not matter. I'll take any one of you and make you an absolute killer on the phone, in person, it doesn't matter. That's what the straight line does. And when I invented it back in 1988, I had the greatest intentions. I really did. I wanted to take young kids that were 18, 19 years old with zero sales experience, and my goal was to take them, make them into killers. And I came up with this visual, and this is the straight line. It's as simple as that. And what it basically is, it's goal-oriented selling. Rather than, when I walk into a sales force and I train corporations for selling, 99% of the time when I walk into a company, they hand me their pitch sheet or whatever it might be. They all have lead sheets and their presentation sheets, right? And usually it looks like just a giant sheet of paper with lots of words on it. And, if the customer says this, you do this, and it's this giant blob, an amorphous blob. And usually what I'll do to get their attention is I'll light it on fire. I'll just light the thing on fire. Say, this is the biggest piece of shit, excuse my language, I've ever seen in my life. Because most of the time, the scripts that you see out there, what they force a salesman to do is go around in circles.